I've heard you talk about the 1619 Project, for example, which in many ways is ascendant in the university system, and it's part of why this show even exists.
It's coming to the grade schools and junior highs and high schools.
It is, right.
The 1619 Project is a revisionist history project designed to propagandize, to lie to, and to brainwash our children. And it is everything we have said about the Magna Carta, about the Declaration, about the Constitution. We will shortly talk about the Bill of Rights. The 1619 Project seeks to tear all of that down. And it, with the enthusiastic embrace of our modern media and much of the academy, I think it is incredibly dangerous.
And with a Pulitzer Prize behind it as well. Right?
And by the way, when I say it's a revisionist project, those actually aren't my words. The New York Times admits that's what it is, that they want to rewrite American history. So it didn't begin in 1776. It didn't begin with the Constitution, but it began in 1619 with the arrival of the first slaves in America. And it is so tendentious that it argues every aspect of American history focused on the preservation of slavery, which is an absolute and blatant lie.
Right.
Slavery is the original sin of our nation. It was a grotesque abomination. It was evil. It was wrong. Now, slavery has existed on much of the globe and much of mankind's. We talked a few minutes ago about what a heretical statement was the proposition that all men are created equal.
Right.
Many other nations across the globe, in continents across the globe, in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, had slavery. In America, our founding documents began with the propositions that set the stage for undoing slavery. And we fought a civil war. There were 600,000 Americans died to expunge slavery. And the abolitionists, and the 1619 Project reads the abolitionists out of American history. They don't exist. And it is every bit as deceitful as is communist propaganda put out by Mao or Lenin or anyone else seeking to deceive and lie.
In many ways, everything we've been talking about here is in itself a kind of refutation of this 1619 argument, not only because, of course, this point has been made before, that the fundamental idea of America is an anti-racist idea, is an anti-slavery idea, the fundamental idea that all men are created equal, which took time, of course, to be played out in practice. But
and let's pause for a second. So one of the critiques is Thomas Jefferson, the man who penned those words, was himself a slave owner. And so people have said, well, what an incredible hypocrite. And at some level, that is true. And listen, we are all imperfect men. But now, not all of the signers were slaveholders. Not all of the signers of the Constitution were slaveholders. There were impassioned abolitionists among them. But Jefferson, in writing it, enshrined the objective, the principle that all men are created equal, and men is meant to encompass women as well. But not only that, we talked about the natural rights of human beings being life, liberty, and property. If you'll notice, Jefferson's enumeration is not life, liberty, and property, but rather is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And the reason for that is slavery. That Jefferson didn't include property because they didn't want to enshrine in the Declaration a defense of what would be used to defend slavery, that at the time, slaveholders argued that other human beings were property. And so pursuit of happiness is another word for liberty.
Right.
I mean, they are synonymous, but the reason for that alteration was because it wasn't lost on anybody that this was setting the stage for the end of the evil that was slavery, but it took another 100 years to get there.